Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new here. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the newest foundation by Chanel. It's called the No. 1 de Chanel Revitalizing Foundation. And I'd like to find out if it's going to work for my mature skin or not. Okay, some of the details first. It retails for $70 or 70 euros or 55 pounds for 1 fluid ounce or 30 mils. It comes in 20 shades. Mine is a B40. It offers a buildable coverage and has a luminous finish. Perfect. Yay. That is right up my alley. So this foundation is a part of a new range of makeup, skincare, and fragrance that have sustainability at its core. So they have reduced all of the packaging components by up to 80%. They have moved to recycled and biosourced materials, and I've offered some refill options. But what's great is the foundation is 94% naturally derived ingredients, so that's great. At the core of this range is one ingredient that they say targets the signs of aging, and that is a red camellia. So they say the extracts from the red camellia are there to target the signs of aging, to help prevent and to help correct them. They say that they help diminish the look of fine lines and wrinkles, that the pores are visibly refined, and the skin's elasticity is restored. They said that your skin feels more comfortable and that it glows with vitality. Now, personally, I don't expect makeup to do all that, but if it has added benefits, woohoo. So this comes in a small glass bottle, which is actually pretty convenient for travel despite the glass, and it comes with a pump. So now we're going to put this makeup on. Now, I'm going to do it in two different ways, neither of the ways in which they recommend. So they suggest that you apply this to the back of your hand, then you dot it on your face and you spread it around using your fingers. I never apply foundation that way. I just don't like it. I don't like the messiness. I prefer to use tools instead. So on one side of my face, I'm going to use a beauty sponge. This one is by the Makeup Eraser, and I love it because it comes with this little guy, and you stick it in here and you throw it in your washing machine. And I just think that's genius. I have a couple of them. I love them. On this side, I'm going to use my BK Beauty 101 brush. Okay, so I'm going to start with one pump. That's always where I like to start. It didn't get a full pump out, so that's okay. So I'm going to start with the Beauty Blender. Now, I have nothing on my face right now. That's not true. I have a little bit of eyebrow on, but I have done my full morning skincare routine, and I have an SPF on. Now, I did use the Elta MD Tinted UV Clear 46, I think it's called. So it does have a color to it, but it doesn't actually add color. It just doesn't add white. So this is the skin. This is the skin I'm born with. I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to start with the Beauty Blender here. I always start in the middle of my face because that's where most of my redness is, and then I move out. Okay. Seems to have a nice luminous finish to it. I'm going to put a little bit more. So the Beauty Blender is quite light-handed, I should say. A little bit more. It's a perfect color match. Nice and soft. Now, I did not start with the primer. I didn't start with the primer because I never use a primer. I have primers here and I just never remember to use them. So we're going to find out how well this lasts without. Now I can still see, I seem to have a little bit of a spot here. Gosh, I never get spots, but there seems to be something there. And that's shining through. So what that means is it's not such a heavy coverage that's just caking everything on and it's covering everything up. And that doesn't bother me as I shove more on it. But the skin looks nice. And I haven't used a whole lot of product. I have used most of that pump. But the thing about a Beauty Blender I do find in general is they just use up so much more product than a brush. But the finish is lovely. It's luminous, which I love. And it's not huge coverage. And I imagine that this could be buildable, but see, I'm not going to do that because I don't want a face full of cakey makeup. But it has a nice finish to it. I think that's nice. Okay, so I am going to add another pump now. And I'm going to go in with the brush next and see how that works. I think this is offering more coverage. I'm going to go straight up under the eyes because I'm not even going to do any concealer today. Oh, sugar. Shouldn't have done that on the other side. Okay, now that uses a lot less product. Yeah, you definitely get more coverage with the brush. It's pretty. It's really pretty. Now, it has a smell. So here's the bummer. All of my other Chanel foundations, while I love them, I think the finish is great, and I think the longevity is great, they have that Chanel smell, and they all smell the same. This one does not have the same smell. It has a different smell, and I don't like it either. I am not a fan of the scented stuff. I do think you get slightly more coverage on this side with the brush. I think it's lovely. Does have a fair amount of shine. It has a little bit of luminosity, so if that's not your bag, you may need to do some additional patterning, which I still might do in little key areas. But all in all, I'm going in on this side with the brush because I just think the finish on it is a little bit better, even though I love my Beauty Blender. I think that's lovely. That's really nice. I think that's a good color match. What do you think, Eric?
Mm-hmm.
Don't talk to me, he says. I think that's lovely. Okay, so next I'm just going to put on the rest of the makeup. It's not going to be a whole lot. I'll do a little bit on the eyes and I might do some blush and stuff. And then I will be right back. Okay, so that's me done. Now, I will say I did have to use a fair amount of powder on this. Now, I can't decide if it's actually the luminosity of the makeup or if it's the fact that it's really freaking hot in here and I'm starting to sweat. You have to close the window when we do the filming because it's too loud, but as a result, it's made the room that we're in really quite hot. So I did have to sort of down the center of my nose do some extra powdering, but that's okay. I think all in all, this is a beautiful foundation. I think it covers just enough of the sins without making it look like a mask. It feels soft on the skin. It feels comfortable on the skin. It has dried down. I think it's beautiful. So the test will be, how is it going to wear over the course of the day? So I will do a check-in in about 5 hours time, and then I will do one probably another 10 hours at the end of the day to see if it has lasted. So I'm not using a setting spray either because I just want to see how it's going to live on its own and whether or not it's going to last the day. So that's it so far. I will check back in with you and a little bit later, but so far, I'm loving it. So our 5-hour check-in, we are in town for a meeting, and it just looks pretty good. It's out in the sunlight. I think it has really good staying power. It's not settling in weirdly anywhere. So I'm really happy with it at this stage. Looks good. Okay, so we are at the 10-hour check-in, and I have to start off by saying I look like a hot mess. It ended up being a really hot day here in Dublin today, so, you know, I think there are probably a few contributions when it comes to whether or not this has worn well. Okay, 10 hours later, how are we looking? I think it's mostly gone. Would you agree with me there? I think there are a couple of contributing factors. First of all, I don't think I've ever met a long wear makeup in my life. Things just don't work for me. I probably should be using a primer. I probably should be using a setting spray. I know, but I don't. So this is kind of what I end up looking like. Couple that with the fact that I have dehydrated skin, which means it just likes to soak everything up. And I'm a serial mister, so I have done that quite a few times. And I'm sure that contributes to sort of the dissipation and just the wearing off of it. So I don't think that a whole lot of it remains. I don't think it looks bad. I think it hasn't worn away unevenly. I see nothing that has settled into any fine lines and wrinkles. You know, I think it's worn really well. So all in all, I will give you $100 if you can find me a long wear makeup that works well and stays. Anyway, I'm just kidding. I don't think it exists, but I think it's worn really well. I found it comfortable to wear. So anyway, it's been a joy to wear. I will definitely reach for it again. I think that when I started this morning, it looked really, really well. When I looked in it in the mirror at the half day check-in, I thought it looked really well. It's gone now, but the blush is gone now. Most of the eye makeup is gone now, and that's just the way that I roll, and I'm okay with that. So is this a makeup that I will reach for again? It is. Yeah, I think it is. I thought the color match was good. I thought it went on really well. I thought it was seamless. It didn't settle into anything. It didn't get goopy and weird in certain spots. So all in all, I thought it was a lovely foundation. And for 70 quid, it should be. I didn't like the smell. No big surprise. But would I be repurchasing it? We'll see. It's 70 bucks. That's a lot of dough to spend on a foundation, and I think there are a lot of other good foundations that cost a hell of a lot less. So not sure I'd repurchase it, but I'm glad I tried it. It was something a few of you had asked me for, so here we go. It's beautiful. Chanel does beautiful foundations. There's absolutely no denying that. So you generally can't go wrong with Chanel. So guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for joining today. And I'd love to hear from you. Have you tried this foundation? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you just think, what? I would never spend 70 quid on a foundation anyway. I'd love to hear from you. So please put your comments down below. It makes my day when you guys write back to me. So I will see you at the next video. Bye. Oh my God, are you joking me?